Welcome back, everybody. Ron and I are camping tonight at Bennett Field Campground right outside Daytona Beach. So this is campsite 4 for anybody that's wondering. It's wide open. It's really nice. Plenty of room for stuff. Earlier today, thanks to Travis, I have a nice rear bumper now. And thanks to Jesse for helping me install it. Literally installed it right before this cold front came, so we didn't really do all the finishing touches. But I have some nice water jugs right here, the spigot on the side so you can wash your hands, wash dishes. Fire extinguisher holder right there. Excuse these zip ties with the tag. But anyway, Ron is about to cook a huge slab of pork.
So we have our pork butt, and it was sliced in half at the butcher shop. We actually have another size piece of pork the same size as this one for another trip. And the underneath side of it, where all the fat is, we took our knife and we sliced it and to give it some grooves into the fat, and we added in some seasoning. Now we're just going to sear up the fat, and we're going to drop it over here into our
pressure cooker. We actually used this for the first time doing boiled peanuts the last camping trip, episode 1 of Florida truck camping. So we're going to start using it pretty often, and once we kind of get the hang of it, we're going to make an actual video of the pressure cooker, but we're kind of new to it, so we're just going to test it out a few times. So that entire slab of pork fits in there perfect. We have tons of room for water, broth, right?
Yes.
And some carrots, potatoes, maybe some onion, and it's gonna be perfect in there. So we'll start throwing that stuff in there and get this fire going, and we'll have us a nice little meal out of a pressure cooker tonight. Minus these 2 bags of firewood, we were blessed by the firewood gods, and we have all this laying around, so that'll be nice because it did rain earlier. It stormed. We had a cold front come through, which means it's going to be in the low 40s tonight. So I got my sleeping bag, I got some blankets, my pillow. Should sleep pretty nice in there. It's nice and dry, so should be out of the way of the wind. And let's get this meal started, and I'll check back in with you guys. There's still quite a bit of broth in there. We're just checking it. It's been in there for a little bit, over an hour maybe. Alright, so there's the carrots. As you can see, this thing's been out of the fire for a while, and it is still boiling. So it keeps the heat pretty well. We're adding the potatoes. There goes the potatoes. Oh no, casualties. Alright. It's back in the fire for about 45 minutes or so. I'm going to check on it. And definitely feel a temperature drop already. I don't know how cold it is right now, but like I said, it's supposed to get in the low 40s tonight. I think we might actually use this little skillet tonight. We're going to make biscuits right here in this small Dutch oven. I think this is a size 8. And then we're going to heat up some butter to pour on the biscuits with this little guy right here. So Ron bought this cheese biscuit mix, which sounds pretty cool, at Publix. But we don't really have a muffin pan, and that's really what it calls for. So we're going to end up making like a loaf of bread / pie. So biscuit pie. Can't be an Overland, Florida camping trip without asparagus. So here's our first ever biscuit pie. Now we had a little too much bottom heat, and that's why it's a little bit black. But other than that, the inside looks amazing. It's just one huge biscuit. So there's a sneak peek of the pork, potatoes, carrots, onions. And then over here, of course, our favorite, asparagus. Then we have our biscuit pie, which actually turned out pretty darn good. We just don't need to have so much bottom heat next time, probably. So here's Ron's plate with his pork, potatoes, carrots, asparagus, and the nice little biscuit pie. So it's about 1 o'clock in the morning. It's time to make my bed and crawl in the back of the truck. So it's about 8:45 in the morning, about 44 degrees. It's time to get up. We're all gonna cook breakfast, pack up, and then everybody's headed to Daytona Beach. There's supposed to be some meetup with Overland magazine or something.
Here, take all these little pieces.
So here's our awesome bacon, egg, sausage, potato, and onion breakfast. We're all packed up. We put some water on the fire, and now it's time to head out of here, which we're actually going to be taking a different way out than Ron's ever been before. So hopefully there's not a gate blocking us in. Otherwise you have to turn all the way around and tack on another 30 minutes of our drive time. Bennett Field Campground is a really good campground if you want to hang out in the Daytona Beach area. It's really secluded, it is definitely primitive, and we couldn't see anybody else at the campground. That's how much room is in between the campsites. We couldn't hear anybody as well, which is really nice. You would think being so close to Daytona and all the attractions and everything that it would be pretty loud, but we didn't hear a single thing. Did hear some wildlife, heard some raccoons and some owls last night, which was nice. But we're gonna drive through the other end of this forest. There are some trails out here, but they're far and few between, mainly for hunters. Since it was so expensive to come out here, we decided we might as well just drive up and down the beach and get our money's worth. It was $60 just to come out on the beach for the three trucks, which is pretty expensive. So we're gonna go as far down as we can, turn around, and then we're gonna go park with everybody and hang out. So we drove as far south as we could on the beach. Now we turned around, we're heading north, about to go back underneath the pier. So part of the reason I was complaining about the price earlier was it's not $20 a day, like unlimited. You get one re-entry pass. So if we leave to meet the group that's up on the north end and we re-enter, and then everybody wants to go to lunch, or if you have to go to the restroom because there's no restrooms out here, and you leave, you'd have to pay to get back on the beach for the same day. So in turn, we'd be spending $120 to come out on the beach for the rest of the day as a group, the three of us. So it's ridiculous. I don't understand why it's not just a pay for the day for $20. What's up?
Yeah.
Not much. Did you see everybody down the other end? So you have Josh's truck. Of course we have the Overland Florida Tacoma. We have Toyota Overlanders with Overlanders magazine. They came all the way down from Maryland. We have Robert with his huge Dodge. This thing's awesome. It's massive. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you, Toyota Overlanders, for putting that together. It was nice meeting new people. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, which means it's time to drive back across the state from Daytona back to Tampa. Thanks again for everybody that watches the videos and enjoys them. We love reading the comments after the videos come out.